This week on the Authentic Media Podcast.
The algorithm is changing. The culture is shifting. What we're seeing is that people want to see behind the veil. Like, people want to get to know you personally and connect you to different people in their lives. I encourage everyone to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Everything that you've wanted, your potential is lying behind that door.
When you're talking to someone, you never know who you're talking to, or you never know who could lead you to someone that can give you access.
Doors open and close. You're one video away, one interaction away from meeting someone that will literally change your life.
Did you know that personal branding is the new currency? If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, or creator, this episode is for you. I'm here with my good friend, Wesley Collins.
What's up?
Co-founder, creative director of IPG Media Co.
Yes,
So excited to have you here. This is about to be a really deep episode for those who are in, I would say, the creative field, media field, social media. We're discussing all of the topics. But before we dive in, I want to know more about you. Who are you?
Well, first, I'm happy to be here. Wesley Collins. I'm a knowledge seeker. I'm a learner. I'm someone that I always tell my clients, if there's something that I don't know how to do and you want it done, I'll figure it out. And so I'm one of those people that I don't accept the everyday limitations. I'm a Kansan, born and raised in Wichita. I am a child of the King. I love my family. I'm a husband. I'm just inspired to add as much value as I can to the world. And so international business student, marketing, different things like that.
Yeah.
But I just have a passion for solving other people's problems.
Yeah.
And so
I love that.
This is where I found myself today.
I know.
Basically. Yeah.
Okay, can I just use this as a teaching moment for a second? Because when I asked you who you are, you didn't tell me what you do. You literally said, the first thing you said was, I am a knowledge seeker. And then everything else came after that. I think that's powerful. And I think that, so you and I are in the worlds of personal branding, creativity, helping business owners and entrepreneurs develop a personal brand, helping them with social media management, all the things when it comes to exposing yourself out there when it comes to your business. And so we're going to dive into all of that. But I love that you just did what you just did just now. Did you know that you did that?
I guess I didn't. I think fundamentally when I think about who I am, it's doing media and flying drones, social media management, helping people with their personal branding, business branding. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like there's so much more behind the curtain, and that's what makes everything work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so tell me how did you get into IPG Media Co? You mentioned that you're from Wichita, but give me a little bit more of your background story. What's your origin story?
Yeah. Okay, so I was at Washburn University. Well, I'll take it back a little further. So I'm a mama's daddy's boy. My dad really pushed me to break generational curses. And I remember living in Wichita, and Boeing, Spirit was really big back then. And I remember being 8, 10, and my dad was like, "You're going to be an engineer." I was really good at math and stuff. He said, "You're going to be an engineer. You see those planes up there? You're going to be designing a plane or flying planes." And so I would just look up and I would just stare. I still do it today. And it's funny, every version of myself, even down to a little kid, is looking up at the planes. And now I look up at my drones. And so I went to Washburn. That's where I started my first company with drones. And I met the co-founder, Manning Heron. We ended up starting, shout out to my boy Manning. And we decided to partner and go in together on something that we both were passionate about. And Now we're just growing. I'm just so excited for the things that we've been able to do and overcome, learn. Like this is a very exciting time to be alive.
It is.
It is.
I'm excited to have you here because, like, we geek out. Okay, like, Wes and I geek out about this stuff. We really do. Like, we love this stuff. Like, our meeting the other day was supposed to be, like, a 45-minute meeting turned into almost an hour and a half.
Low key.
Low key. So we said, okay, we got to be intentional. Okay, we got to be really, like, specific here. So I first started the episode with, did you know that personal branding is the new currency? And so what could you tell someone who is right now, there's a lot of clients and people that we're talking to who are really trying to rebrand, right? There's a lot of people in the midst of their business, maybe like 5 to 6 years in the business already. And they're trying to relaunch, rebrand themselves differently because multiple different reasons, but mainly because like they're trying to catch up with the times and like, try to get more modernized and things like that. But let's start there. Like for someone who is trying to rebrand, what could you tell them about how to relaunch, rebrand, and understand that there's power in that? It's the new currency.
It's literally the new currency. So the only way I could put this is like my grandpa, he would tell me, I would sit at the feet of the elders. I still do, like when we have family reunions, and I'm like someone who just wants to soak up as much knowledge, as much game as possible. And my grandpa said, man, I said, what's something you wish you knew when you were, I'm 30 now, but like what's something you wish you knew when you were 24 that you know now? And he said, man, I wish I would have invested in Walmart back when the internet and, that boom happened. And I was just like, okay. Yeah. And so that gave me a certain mindset. It was like personal branding, social media is the new currency because that's where the trend line is starting now. Like there's been a shift. And previously, it's been all word of mouth. It's just like horse and carriage. Like, and once the steam engine got invented and now we have cars, it's like those who are on horse and carriage can't even compete with those that are driving the car. So the way I look at it is, man, I just talked to a former teacher today. This is the power of personal branding, like for real. Over like a 6-month time, a teacher I know, she was like, oh, she was a teacher. And I said, cool. Not today. I talked to her, just happened to bump into her. And I was like, oh, how's things going? She's like, how's your business? I'm asking her. She's like, actually, I'm not a teacher anymore. I started my personal brand, and she's like, has her own online store, and it's like booming. Like this is like over a 6-month period. Yeah. And like people don't understand. It's like, make it easy for yourself. Like make that transition because your wings can like reach so much further. Your network can grow to just beyond what you even can understand because your people, there's 8 billion people out there. Your people are out there. You just have to put yourself on a digital platform to reach them.
And even go into just like the space when it comes to being remembered. I know you like talk about this formula about there is a way to connect with people online to gain their trust, but also to be remembered. And I think that people find social media very challenging, which I understand because like the amount of time it takes to create content, it's a lot of work. It's tough. It's a lot. And so this is why you're here. So we need some social media services. Like I'm gonna plug you.
I got you. Nah.
Talk to me about this formula that you learned that there's a way to be remembered.
I believe it was Daniel Priestley on the Diary CEO. I'm heavy on the podcast. And he said 7 hours, 11 interactions on 4 different platforms. Yeah. And so your audience or your friends or your family, they need to be able to binge your content. Wow. Like they may know you. They may know Danielle, helps with personal brand. They know Wesley flies drones or helps with websites. But like, are you an expert? Like, why would I choose you just because I know you? Are you going to really get the outcome that I want. I don't know what you think, what you really know. And so unless you put that out there, and you have at least 7 hours of content, and I like to call it 4 different locations. So it's like if I see you at the networking event, and I saw you at the grocery store, and then I see you at the gas station again, then I see you at the gym. Eventually, the next time I see you, across the room, and I'm gonna be like, hey, that's Danielle. Let me go say what's up. Like, and that's how it is when you're online and you're always showing up. So I encourage all of my clients to post on all the social media platforms. Now,
that's good.
Some of them are a little different. You know, every one of them has their own like angle, their own like, way to reach the people on that platform. But with technology and AI and softwares out there now, like, you're limiting yourself if you're not posting to all of them. So you might as well.
That's good. I mean, like listening to you describe that, and then the way that you talked about binging someone, right? Like how often do we spend hours on like binging Netflix, or even like, okay, when you said that, it reminded me of times where I would like just randomly be on social media, and then something would catch my eye, and then I would just go down this like rabbit hole of like, dang. But how could you do that with your own content? Like, how could business owners and entrepreneurs do that with their own content? Like, get to a space where someone's gonna find you and then binge you. That's crazy. So this like leads me to my next question around why do so many businesses and entrepreneurs fail when it comes to social media?
So I think it's, I always start things off with intentionality. And I think things are changing so fast, it's hard to keep up. And if you need a learner, in your corner that can like literally tell you, hey, I got you. The algorithm is changing, and the culture is shifting, and this I know this too. Like, what we're seeing is that people want to see behind the veil. Like, people want to get to know you personally. People want to be able to like relate to you and connect you to different people in their lives and say, man, Wesley geeks out on Dragon Ball Z. Like, I used to love Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Vegeta. Like, they want to be like, he likes Naruto, like my cousin. Like, I think when we create multiple touch points, like he said, 4 different platforms, creating 4 multiple touch points where they're like, okay, my grandma used to love that song. And you're like grooving to the song, and you're like, and you're opening up what's in your personal like bag. Get in your bag.
Good. Get in your bag.
Get in your bag.
Okay, can I share something too when it comes to, because my follow-up question I want to ask you is like, if someone doesn't know what to do when it comes to their personal branding, what should they be doing now? Right. And so the video that you and I were geeking out about with we call it our virtual mentors. Shout out to Omar El Takori if you're watching this one day. And Chris Doe, they were geeking out about, personal branding. But one of the things that really stood out to me that Chris Doe said, because I think even Omar asked him, he said, what's the number one thing that people should be doing when it comes to like creating, like launching from scratch? And he was like, this might sound funny, but serious, like go to therapy.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And I said, dang, that is facts.
It
like
is.
Go to therapy. And it's like, it's something that we constantly talk about, that like you really have to find who you are. And I think when people hear that, they're like, yeah, I got to find who I am. Or I know who I am. I should be able to brand myself. But there's a reason why you're not connecting with people, know? So like, what could you say to someone who was looking to, start from scratch or rebrand? Like, what's the number one thing they could be doing right now today?
Well, the first thing you need to do is just journal, therapy, but like start today. Just like flip the switch, invite people on your journey. I think like knowing yourself, like the Matrix, it's like the more that you know about yourself, the more layers you're able to like dissect about you and just feel comfortable, just like freely just saying, this is me. Like, are you my people? Are you my tribe? Like, okay, then like, let's go. Like, we'll learn, we'll share, we'll inspire each other. And I think like what I would do is just find what you're passionate about, find where you are, and just invite people on that journey.
Yeah.
A lot of people use TikTok, Instagram. Go wherever you're at. Don't create too many barriers on that. We have our clients fill out a customized brand questionnaire, and so like we ask them certain questions, personally, business, and so we try to make it as personal as possible because business is not just business. Like, I don't want people to like think of business. It's all personal. Like, we're all humans. Like, unless we were just robots interacting with each other, then like it'd just be like, I am doing what I need to do. But like, no, like you need to like show people like what you can do and where you're at, what you're struggling with, like where you're at on your journey, what you've overcome.
Right.
And then share that experience with those who are struggling with it so you can help them. Yeah.
I love everything you just said. It's very spot on. When you talk about struggles and challenges that people have gone through, I think one of the things that people don't really find sexy is sharing their struggles, sharing their challenges. But can you explain why that is important to share, to gain trust?
I think that is where your audience is. That's where your community is. Like, if you're not sharing your struggles, you're not. Everyone's looking for a guide.
Right.
Yoda, Luke Skywalker is looking for his Yoda, and it's like the hero story, right? And so, like, everyone's looking for someone that's been through what they're going through.
Ooh.
And if you haven't been through nothing, you technically can't tell me nothing, right? And so, like, it's really important to share what you've been through. Like, last year, I learned the difference between branding and marketing. Like, I was good at branding. I was good at making really nice videos. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And so once I was managing multiple clients' social media, more than my own, and now I'm like, I need to figure the social media out. And it's really uncomfortable. So, like, I encourage everyone to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because behind that door is where everything that you've wanted, your potential is lying behind that door.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
good.
That is why it's important to share your journey, because people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And what's in your head is what's in your head. But if you don't share that, then you're just limiting yourself. You're setting your own limitation. And I feel like everyone knows 250 people.
Facts.
So like, you're one or two people away from changing your life. And you know how easy it is now to like reach thousands of people, hundreds of people?
Yeah.
Like, there's a video that I love. It was like, what is a room full of 10 people look like?
Yeah,
right?
I seen that.
Yeah, you saw it?
Yes,
it was so fire.
It puts you like in a whole different perspective. Maybe we can share it here, but like, yes. Okay, explain the video.
So like, you got 10 views on whatever video.
Yeah.
But if you put 10 people in a room and you're giving a talk or whatever, that kind of, you feel the energy of each person's presence.
Right.
Then you got 100 people in a room. I remember doing like different talent shows and different things like that. 100 people, that's a good amount of people. Like, think about, I'm kind of going to geek out a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. This is your moment.
So if everyone knows 250 people.
Right.
You get 100 views on the video. Multiply that by 250. Wow. Because that person could just mention like, hey, there's people that do it all the time. They're like, I'm looking for a roofer. I'm looking for someone to help me with social media. I'm looking for someone to create a website. Do you know anyone? And they tag you.
Right.
Because you keep showing up. Yeah. They trust that when they put, I mean, I know you probably like crazy. Feel this too. Like,
no, like my brain is like, it's, I'm having a whole epiphany right now, but I'm waiting to share it. So go ahead.
Like, when someone tags you in a post, they're basically co-signing and saying, I know this person is going to deliver on what you need. And so like, you have to get them to that point where they are willing to co-sign for you, like, and say, hey, I'm signing off on Danielle to help with personal branding. Like, hit her up.
That's a whole different, like, wow, my mind is like blown. Oh my God, this is so good. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I kind of was thinking the same, like, strategy in the example that you shared. I was thinking about that in the way when I meet people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, like, you talk about intentionality, right? And you talk about like being intentional with your personal brand. How often are we not even being intentional with networking? Right. And so like I was involved in an event last week. I think you guys saw the bridal show, and these people were from Wichita. Okay. And I'm kind of was like, you know, I was involved in the event, and I wasn't trying to make, you know, the focus about, you know, business or other things. Like, they're there to like showcase their dresses and things like that. But it was interesting because as I was getting to know the designer, she was telling me about her team, and she was like, yeah, you got to meet this girl. She does social media, right? So I'm like, trigger word, right? Trigger word.
It's not easy.
And then she was like, yeah, you got to get to know her story. She has, you know, this really passionate story. Her story was like very deep. Didn't even know. So then I meet the girl. Tell me why the girl's from Dallas.
Oh, really?
Connection.
That's how it works.
Right? So it just reminds me of how when you're talking to someone, you never know who you're talking to, or you never know who could lead you to someone that can give you access.
Literally. And I think that reminds me also, like, early on in my journey, I was scared to put myself out there. Like, I was scared to cold call. Like, I've been doing sales and different stuff like that. But, like, I learned my lesson quick because I'll reach out to a company that I was planning to reach out for 6 months or so now. And I call them and I'm like, hey, I do drones and I do video, I do whatever. And they're like, oh, man, we just did a website with someone a week ago. And I was just like, Wesley, you should have called them 6 months ago.
Wow.
And so, like, doors open and close.
Yeah. And
you're one video away. You're one interaction away. You're one meeting away from meeting someone, like you said, that will literally change your life.
100%.
That is like your person, your tribe. And they're like,
yeah,
you do personal branding? I've been looking. Do you know how long I've been looking for that?
Right.
And they're like, let's lock in. Like, lock me in on your calendar. Right. Like, I think people underestimate the power of social media because I think it's just more of the fear of, I think they know. I think it's just more about the fear of the unknown and also thinking like it's too late. It's too late. Like, those who are our coach, those who are, there's so many coaches, right? There's so many people that has a course. There's so many people that's doing what I wanted to do. Like, why would I do it now? I think no one has your anointing. No one can be you in that space.
Wow.
And so as long as you're bringing that authenticity, are you bringing your authentic self?
Yeah, that's good.
You'll change and you'll influence the people that are your people.
Wow. I think I needed that reminder. Thank you. That was so good.
Yeah, I already know. We can't sleep on ourselves, you know, like we talked about before. It's like life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Power of the tongue.
But if you don't say anything, if you're scared to say anything, then that's death.
Wow.
What you choose, what you don't choose,
you're choosing.
You're choosing. So, like, if life and death is in the power of tongue, if you can give so many people life, if you can help so many people because you're an expert of 20 years, you've been doing such and such for your journey, everything has led you to this point.
100%.
Journalism, you know, media, your connections, like everything that you've done, every place that you've been is built the version that you are right now.
That's so good.
And no one has that unique touch.
I love what you said about the power of the tongue, because when I was like talking to my client the other day, I can tell she felt a little defeated. You know, think about clients that you talk to because it's like overwhelming. They're in the day-to-day business. And so I literally told her, I said, you know, I'm probably the most different type of person or coach or personal brand strategist you will ever meet, because this is not just about a photo shoot. This is not just about getting pretty pictures out there. This is deep inner work. Like I'm trying to like ignite that fire. And so when you talk about like, you know, reminding yourself that the power you have, like what you are not speaking is death. Like you're choosing that. It literally reminds me of times like even like this, or when we have long weeks or days, it's like I'm dead tired. Like I am like I got some low energy. But when I'm in the thing that I love to do, it's like that energy comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like I'm all of a sudden, you know, re-energized. I'm here, I'm present, I'm intentional, I'm passionate. But it's like that's why we're trying to get people to tap into that, what that why is. And like, you know, you said it earlier, you're like, I'm a knowledge seeker. You know, like I geek out about these things. And it's like, geek out, like share what you've learned. Because that's what gets you passionate, you know?
Your brand deserves more than just a selfie. It deserves a vision captured perfectly. Hi, I'm Danielle J. Martin, and I'm here to help you create a visual identity that creates a lasting impression. So whether you're launching a business or you're enhancing your presence or you're rebranding, your photos are your first impression. So our brand photo shoots aren't just for you to take pretty pictures, but they're for you to tell your story, build trust, and connect with your audience in a whole different way. So if you're ready to elevate your brand that creates a lasting impression, go ahead and click that link down below.
Okay, so my favorite topic that we're about to dive into is branding versus marketing, right? So how do you explain that to people? I love this topic. I know I just did a recent episode about it, but I want you to explain from your point of view, like what that means.
Man, I struggled with this initially in my business, especially once I got clients and they had goals. And I thought it was just a matter of elevating, amplifying their media content. Go from nothing to high quality drone, 4K. Like I thought that was what would help them reach their goals. But that is thinking branding and marketing is one and the same. Now, after I bump my head a lot, I think my philosophy is branding is the turtle. The world was built on top of a turtle. And marketing is the rabbit. So marketing, you have your goals, you have strategies around how to essentially make a profit. Regardless if it's short term or long term, you want short term, you want 3 appointments in a week. Okay, let's strategize on what your target market is. Do you want to run an ad behind that? Are we doing it organic or a paid ad? Branding, creating relatable content to where people get an insight of your journey, your expertise, who you really are. Like share your family, that connect with you, and get the opportunity to know, like, and trust you. So
I love that.
I think people overlook branding.
All the time.
Most of the time, all the time.
All the time.
Like for marketing. But
they want to like get to the marketing first. They're like, let's just go. Like,
it's that dopamine.
Like let's
short
just get it out
term
there.
satisfaction. Like just I want the reward now. Like Who Moved My Cheese? That's a great book for anybody to read, you know.
Book drop.
So like it's just a matter of the cheese is always moving. That's why it's more about the journey, making progress versus this perfection paradigm. And I've been caught in it. I'm the videographer. I'm the one that shoots 4K high quality. I should do this better than anyone. But my editors, people looked at my stuff and they're like, bro, even like my people that are in the same industry are like, bro, this is better than 99% of people out there. Just do it. Just post it. And it's crazy that every time I posted a video, it made me money.
Crazy.
Every time. Whether it's a website, whether it's just someone just having an interest. Like, I think people really need to understand the power of digital marketing, putting themselves out there on social media. Ads. It's
there's
simple.
There's power in the ads.
It's simple.
But there's a lot of people that don't know, like, how to like do it. Like I know sometimes, even for myself, I'll just speak for myself, but like there are some people who get on Facebook and there's like so many prompts and questions, right?
Yeah,
and so
true.
like, how would you recommend filling out that form when it's like, you know, what's your demographics, age, like, how do you know where to reach? Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, am I just going to try to reach the entire state, like my local community? And then like, how much money should I put towards that?
So there's a strategy behind that. I'll start off with saying like the baseline for a successful ad is $15 a day. So however you want to slice that up, most ads have a lifespan of 30 days. Like low quality ads, if it's just like a photo graphic, you know, some type of Canva template, that could maybe last you 30 days. You're not going to really see results in the first 2 weeks. Like the 2 weeks is the observation period. And you're not really expecting anything. You're like, what data is this going to give me?
Yeah.
And when it comes to like choosing a demographic, the first ad anyone should run is just a traffic ad. You want just more visibility. You want more people to just visit your profile.
Right.
And then once that happens, you're in the nurturing stage. So then people can, if you're posting, I'm sure you're already posting, right? You're already posting. So like, if you're posting,
I hope so. I would hope you're posting your business.
No one cares about your business like you care about your business. And like we said, life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
But like, start off with the traffic. Just get more traffic to your page, and then you're going to nurture them with your organic and all the educational, relatable, inspirational, entertainment type of content that you're posting. And then the next ad will be concerning whatever your goal is. So if you want more appointments, one of my clients, they're like, I want 3 appointments a week.
Yeah.
So then you put a form on there and you say, okay, I want people to click this form. Or if you have someone like me to build a funnel for you, then you can lead them to a funnel and they get more information. They get more reasons to make a decision.
Wow.
So like, okay, like something I learned on my journey of knowledge seeking is like reasoning governs the emotion. So like we didn't intend to get into emotional intelligence. But like reasoning governs emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
So like if you have enough reasons to not flip a table, then you're not.
Yeah.
No matter how angry you are. If you have enough reasons to promote your business, you are. No matter what voices are in your head saying, I don't like this, don't post this. Like you're going to do it because you know the result. Because you've gathered enough data, you've gathered enough reasons. And that could go with anything, like what you eat, what you drink, where you go, the people you hang out with. Like you have enough reasons to say, oh, I can't hang out with them anymore. Like you're not. Even though you may like want to like, you know, like you be like, I bumped my head enough, you know. But I think
that's good.
Like I think
that's good.
Getting back to ads, like when you're running ads, the final one is retargeting ads. Once you're an authority and you've built your community, your people, your following, where people know, like, and trust you, like you're now going to retarget them. And so like if they had an interview, you had a lead and then they said, 6 months from now. Run a retargeting ad, they're just going to see you in their stories. They're going to see you in their messages. They're going to like see you all over the place. And that's the most powerful ad because you're turning a warm lead, you're reactivating a warm lead into a hot lead.
That's good. Okay, let's run it back for the people. You can run it back, just like go ahead and rewind. But for those who are, you know, just let's give a quick recap because I was definitely tuning in. So you said starting with ads that are informing, educational, and entertaining. And then you would move to goal-oriented ads. And then the last one is retargeting ads. I love that system.
So it's
free masterclass. You're welcome. You're welcome. There you go.
No, I think once you well, you're funny. So like once you've because the goal is I hope everyone is, if you have a business, you have an email list.
Yeah. Ooh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
If you're a business
if you
owner.
have an appointment, like,
Come on.
you should have an email.
If not, where are you sending people? How are you getting in contact with them?
People aren't using, they aren't digital. They're writing in their notebooks still.
Oh my gosh.
They don't have
that
a
brings me
website still.
to the point though. Like, let's get into like different technologies people should be aware of. The ones that IPG Media Co uses is you guys use a lot of really integrated and even really like comprehensive technologies. And so dive into that. Like, what are some tools and some resources that people should be aware of and take advantage of?
The first one is AI is here, ChatGPT is the first low-hanging fruit. Everyone, if you want to start a personal brand, you have a business, you want to just have a personal therapist, you could start with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We use
free.
that. It's free. Create an account. There's paid ones too, but that's the low hanging fruit.
Right.
We also use Metricool for social media scheduling. I think I mentioned that. But we also use Fathom. So anytime we have a Zoom meeting, you need if you lose an email, you had a client, you had a meeting, and you don't have their email, so now we can't run a reputation management campaign for you because you've been in business for 10 years, but you have 3 reviews, but you've had 1,000 clients.
Wow.
So like, we run a reputation management or a review campaign where we'll reach back out to all the people that you've worked with and to get those reviews. And people don't think about the importance of that element of building trust.
Wait, I love how you just said something that I don't even know if it's has been said. Like, you just said something so powerful. Wait, we're gonna run that back. You said reputation management.
Yeah.
Wow, how powerful is that? And then let's go a little bit deeper into that and like how people could maybe create their own system. But if you need assistance, IPG Media Co got you, But that is powerful. There's power in the follow-up.
It is.
As they say.
Yeah. So with AI, we use a software that will automatically follow up and set up automations. If someone says, just reach back out to me in 6 months, like, we'll schedule that message and you'll reach back out to them and say, hey, because we're human, we make mistakes, we forget. Right. I think also when it comes to like different technology and AI, like you have the capability to clone yourself. And so like
that sounds scary.
It does, I guess. That is true.
Do I want to clone myself? I don't know.
But think of it in a good way. Like, I used to always say, if there was another me, like, think of it like that. Yeah. Like, if there was another me, it'll be game over.
Ooh.
And so, like, I heard a quote somewhere, I can't remember, it said, to make everybody happy, I think I would need a clone. But, like, when we think about clones, it gets a little scary. Yeah. Just kind of everything that,
like your
that goes
shadow
behind
just
that.
walking around, like, okay, go sit down.
Yeah. But like when we think about reputation management, there's front facing and there's back facing. Yeah. Front facing is like the customer experience. Like, how do you make people feel when they interact with you?
That's good.
Like, what is your onboarding process? What is your offboarding process? If someone doesn't want to work with you anymore, are you showing your true colors now? Like, are you letting them go with grace?
Yeah, that's good.
And then on the back end is the reviews that are really important when it comes to people making a purchasing decision. So Amazon, for example, when you're going to buy a product, most times the reviews matter. Not only, unless you have a brand loyalty and it's like, I ain't even look at these reviews. Right. I'm buying this MacBook, you know Target. What I'm saying? Like, literally.
That's my brand loyalty.
But when it comes to businesses, most of the time, if they don't know you, or if they haven't had some type of previous experience with your services or your product, they're like, what are other people saying about this? And if no one's saying anything, that's a red flag. It almost shows like lack of experience, lack of expertise, and no one wants to work with someone. Unless they know, like, and trust you already. But no one wants to work with someone that's just getting started. Yeah, it's like they want to work with someone who is not going to waste their money.
Right.
that's going to execute on what they deliver on what they really need.
Yeah. So let's get into that too. So like IPG Media Co, this is your moment. This is your selling moment. Okay. So why should people work with you? And what makes IPG Media Co so different than any other company? Because you guys are very unique in the way that you guys offer your services. And so I want you to have the opportunity to share that.
So I think fundamentally, or the first element of why someone should work with us is we are learners. Every generation you have people that have the ability to learn. And with technology and everything changing so quickly, you need someone in your corner. You need to have proximity with someone that can keep up. So if that's my job to keep up with it, then that's the first reason why you should choose IPG Media.
Yeah.
But other than that, we work with contractors. That's our first niche. But we also work with realtors and architects and stuff like that. That's kind of the services that are coherent with like home services and like real estate and stuff like that too. But we study the game. So like being a learner, like people want to know why they should work with you, what you do, and what makes you different than everyone else. And so like I'm a computer science. I'm like,
no wonder you like to geek out. He's a computer science nerd.
Like I'll so many 3 a.m. You know, I'm like, I was supposed to be asleep at like 10.
Yeah,
I'm building a website. I'm obsessing over your website.
Dude, I was doing that last night.
I'm saying,
like, it's just like this random.
I can't
spark.
stop
Like
until I get to a certain point, and then like I get to that point, you find Mo. We talked about that. You find Mo, and then you just can't stop until it's finished. And that's like a blessing and a curse.
It is. It just shows though, like just how passionate you are. Like I know we talked about it before, but I think that's why like your why is so important because it's like you can get reignited and just like, man, I could be so tired, but like I'll get home, I'll like dive into something. And I'm like, okay, literally finished a website last night. You know, it's crazy. But that goes back to what we like. I think we've talked about it before. Who knows if it was like earlier in the episode, but we'll like say it again. But just like our whole philosophy around, you know, when you're intentional about something, it's easier to draw attention to what you want and what you like desire. You know, going back to like the red car theory, like once you put intention on like, I want, you know, a white vehicle, you know, a white Range Rover or whatever. You start seeing it everywhere.
I didn't know there were white Range Rovers. I thought I was the first one that wanted that car. Literally. Now I'm seeing it everywhere.
Everywhere, because you said that's what you want.
Yes.
So just imagine if you start focusing and being intentional on what you want with your business, with yourself. Not even that, like with yourself first. You start attracting everything. But if your attention is on other things, you're not going to be intentional.
And that's where they say like the distracted genius. I think we all are a little biased to ourselves. You know, I think that's just how God built us. But being intentional and as well as like limiting the distractions, because that's where the consistency is going to come into play. That's where you're going to eventually find Mo. I think there's an analogy of like the pumping well or the water crank. Like you're cranking, you're trying to pump for the water and it's not coming. Then all of a sudden, like you've got enough momentum. The water has gathered enough pressure and it's just like, bring more buckets. Like it's overflowing. Like I can't, like I'm getting blessed to a point that I don't have enough room to receive it.
The overflow.
The overflow. And that's where when you're silent, especially if you're a business owner that's blessed and you've found success, you have an overflow of knowledge. You have an overflow of abundance. And the world is abundant. So if you create some type of lack mentality, then eventually the water is just going to sink you sink your ship.
Wow.
So I encourage everyone to just get out there. Social media, digital marketing, that's the new currency. It's so easy. It's simple. but it's not easy. So I need to stop saying it's easy. But there's so many other reasons that I started with our why. There's so many other reasons why someone should choose IPG Media. Like we use all AI. We use like every tool that you can imagine. We're learning.
Yeah.
Like we're researching. Like whatever you want. Like we're gonna make that happen.
And
so,
I'll just say too, like I'm gonna also hype you up, but I love like the analogy that we've talked about, the IPG Media Co. for those who are looking for any marketing strategies, branding strategies, social media management. I mean, video, right?
Yeah,
like you
AI
guys,
chatbots,
websites. Like you guys are essentially like the marketing department for businesses.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got it. Just reach out. Like just stop trying to figure it out. Like just get some help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if anything, just, if you just start a conversation, like I'll find a way to just help you for free. I hope, find something in this video, this podcast to utilize and execute on, because like faith without works is dead. Knowledge is not power. It's just the potential of it. So like we gotta, I've fallen victim to it too, but we just gotta execute on it.
Okay. Any last words you want to say to the audience here about anything? It could be like the most recent thing you've geeked out on. I know you got so many, but
I just encourage everyone to find themselves. I think no matter what you think you want, like once you get that hole, it's not going to be filled. I think if you spend more time reflection, spend more time in the dark, but in the light, because like in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was formless and void. There was nothing but darkness, and there was waters, which represents life. But God said, "Let there be light."
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're able to have that time to yourself and to like go down and build your roots and grow, and so that your tree can go higher and that you can feed more people, be a river,
That's crazy.
So I think if you do that, everything else will work out for you. And I just encourage everyone to just find their people wherever they are.
Oh my gosh. So as you were talking, I was thinking like branding is your foundation. It's your roots.
Yeah.
Right? And then like your marketing is the harvest.
That's good.
It's like
That's good.
you'll reap the fruit in the harvest later, but you got to do the foundational work.
You got to. Yeah.
Right?
And it's slow.
It's slow.
But that's where true life comes. That's where the true benefits are. Like fast food versus cooking. Like,
come on now.
Like go ahead and cook, and it's gonna take an hour. So you can be healthy. Like
be patient with yourself.
Be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want a quick fix, a microwave brand.
No.
And we expect people to just believe like, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it. Like, you can't be a life coach at 27. Like, let's stop saying that. Okay.
That's true.
But that is where you kind of like know yourself. You can maybe say you're a coach, but what life have you've experienced? You know what I mean?
Good. Yeah.
But I think that there's so many people who are like, they just don't know. And so we're just moving. And I'll be honest, like I fell victim to that, like just moving and acting like I knew. Yeah. But it's like, I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know. Like help me understand. I'm still trying to figure it out.
There's another side to that. If that 20 or 7-year-old they have the courage to take that leap of faith and put themselves out there, then they're going to reap your harvest.
Yeah.
But if you have 20 years of experience, you have 10 years of experience, and you've been living, and you have so many interactions, so many different things to draw from, then that's where your anointing is different than anything that a 27-year-old is doing. So, like, there's a lot of experienced people that aren't 100%. Putting themselves on social media. And they're leaving themselves in the dark. Like, what if God never said, "Let there be light"? That's their reality. That's what they're living. Yeah.
Wow. Dang.
Thank you for having me.
Oh
this is
gosh.
a blessing. Yeah.
It was so good. All right. Thanks, friend.
Thanks for watching the Authentic Media Podcast YouTube. At Authentic Media Company, our mission is to help you develop an authentic brand so you can make the impact that you are called to make. If you got anything from today's episode, make sure you drop a comment down below. I'm interested to see what your takeaways are. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel so you can be the first to know when we drop our newest episode. In the meantime, have a great day.